Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. Hope you guys are keeping well. I'm going to be reviewing the new iFi Audio Hip DAC. So let's take a look at this in more detail. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to be looking at the balanced, looking at different types of headphones from in-ears and over-ears, and just giving you my overall verdict on this. Let's go check it out. So taking a closer look at the Hip DAC, quite a trendy name. You can see the various options here. It does have its featured analog X-Bass, its full balance performance. You've got high-res MQA streaming via Tidal, for example, and you've got your Burr Brown multi-bit chipset inside. That's being used to get the best sort of optimum sort of audio quality, and it is MQA compatible with Tidal and other similar bits and pieces. It's got a 12-hour battery life and various other bits and pieces. Now, in terms of what it can run with, it can do DSD at 256. You've got the power match and X-Bass. iFi Audio do like creating terminology for different features, but basically I'll show you the power match on the device itself. It's balanced, and also you have 3.5mm outputs, and it's 400 milliwatts using the standard 3.5. That increases to 700 milliwatts when you're using the 4.4mm balanced, and you can see that's at 16 ohms as well, and you see the charging, the weight and everything else. So what I'll do is I'll just show you what's in the box, so you can see what you get in the box. So in the box you get your two USB-C type cables. You can see they're slightly different on the ends there. You've also got some rubber feet, 3M feet there. It's quite handy, and you also have the cable for connecting everything in. Now I'll just push that to one side a second. So here we have the device itself. It's like a nice sort of thermos sort of flask, and you can see here there's this little light tells you the battery. Now if I take the instructions, I didn't show you, there was actually some leaflets in the box. There's the warranty card here. You don't really need to see that, but there is the instructions, and it shows you how everything works on the front. So you've got power match, Xbox. You also have number 3, tells you the audio formats as well. That's quite handy. And then you've got the different colours that you get depending on what you're listening to. You've got the various power. It shows you how the power works, how to connect, where you connect your 3.5 and 4.4mm headphones, the various inputs. So that's the USB input. Then there has a separate input for charge. Now the good thing about that, is you've got a separate charge point, which helps when using this with Android or iOS devices. That does help. So just showing you here, that's the lights on the front that you have. You have the 4.4mm there that goes in like so, nice and easy. 3.5 X-Bass, and you get little whites there. Power match. Now with the power match feature, don't have this on for using IEMs, not recommended at all. And then here you've got your USB-C, you've got your battery level, and that flashes when charging. And this, I do like how they make that a really nice secure sort of fitment there. So there is a 2200 milliamp battery. This battery does last about 12 hours, depending on how loud you got it. I got about 11 when I've tested it. That's not too bad. And as far as I'm aware, this will be the only, sort of like a petrol blue, this will be the only colour that it comes out with. What I did discover is that there will be some extra firmware as well that should be able to install, which will actually work and change the sort of sound signature slightly with the filters. That could be pretty cool. But again, it is well thought out. It does have, it's just 32-bit 384 kHz and supports the super speed USB 3 as standard, as well as USB 2 for backwards. It is the asynchronous as well. It's just a really neat little thing. I want to talk about the sound quality as well. I'm going to talk about that with some different headphones. So let's go and check this out. Just before I talk about the sound quality in a lot more depth, I have mentioned the bass quite a bit, so I'll try and balance that off a bit. If you're going to use this with Apple devices, you do need the Apple camera kit. The nice thing is there are two versions. This is the new one, which you can also plug power in. That works, but then it's really messy because you've got to have an extra cable. You need the USB-A to lightning cable. But if you just use the older version, this really works well with the end piece there, because it literally just slots in. Nice, neat little option, and that works really well, and I'm quite impressed with that. So just sort of going through all the different headphones I've tried, I think you got, again, in terms of the actual sound difference it made, the Burr Brown DAC that's used in this is a really nice warm sound to it. I found from the very first time I actually had the DAC powered on, it took about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and after an hour or so it got a lot better. So when you first get it, just let it run for an hour, just as a one-off, and then that should be fine, and it does make a difference. So it adds a lot more drive and dynamics, so much more powerful than a lot of other cheap DACs that I've used in the past. These relative 50 ohm, relatively easy to drive, but when you put enough decent oomph into these, you put out all the dynamics, and I think for me these are quite good because you want something that sounds good. So in terms of the treble, there was a lot of finesse in the treble, and it pulled out the mid-range with the voices. It was very good on that side of things. The better the quality of the signal coming in, obviously the better these sounded. These probably sounded somewhat, in terms of using a low-cost DAC under a couple £100, under £250, £300. These sounded exceptionally good through the hip DAC. Yeah, I really loved listening to these. But again, there's quite a lot. There's just generally quite a lot of depth that was pushed through these, and that's and they didn't sound thin. So you've got soundstage, you've got dynamics, and just a really enjoyable sound that you can listen to for a really long time of using the X-Bass. And I will say that on the whole, I think the Sennheiser has quite a nice sound shaping, and some people might like the extra bass. I found it only more useful on some sort of classical types of arrangements, and not so much otherwise. It didn't quite, I personally didn't think they suited having the extra bass on these headphones. What I did have on, if I switch this on, is the, I don't know if you can see it, bring that a bit closer. There's the power match button there. You can press it on, press it off. But for these over-ear headphones, you definitely want to keep it on. But say the extra bass is up to you. I also had listened to quite a few other headphones that I haven't got going around. Here's some more expensive ones. But I just thought I'd mention these because these are the new AKG. These are the K371 closed back. These, surprisingly again, they just have the 3.5mm to here, and again have the power match on. With these, on a lot of tracks, the X-Bass was absolutely, I actually really enjoyed it. may not be, you know, the most highest quality or critical, you know, reference sound. That's more the case. But these, just the sub bass on these with the X bass on, just the rumbles, just lovely. Oh, so I think that this pairing with these was particularly good, But one thing that you can do is you can run these in a balanced configuration. If you notice here, they have the 4.4mm balance. So I have a pair of headphones. I have the FiO FH7s. So with the FiO FH7s, which are, I'll show you these FiO FH7s, which are phenomenal in-ear IMs. I really love them. And with this 4.4mm, I actually, with those earphones, this introduces more background noise. So when I had swapped the cables out and just used the 3.5mm, the actual background noise didn't exist. It was a low floor noise. But as soon as I put 4.4 in, it introduced too much noise, in my opinion, and that, you know, is a shame because there was more dynamics and whatnot. But I don't have any other 4.4mm headphones running on this balanced cable that I can actually test with. So it's worth knowing that if you've got some very sensitive IMs, that you might get more noise on the balance. I do with the FiOs. I did have, just in case you're wondering, the power match option off when using the IEMs. It doesn't need it at all. In fact, if you read the instructions, it does actually say the power match is really for over-the-ear type headphones. In terms of what is good about this compared to a number of other DACs, the X bass does work, and it's better with some headphones than others, and it's probably better with some genres than others. For me, sort of classical and a jazz, just a solo female jazz, that's the times it works really well with the Sennheisers in particular. Otherwise, no. If you have, I was using some other headphones as well from Focal. They sounded, in my honest opinion, better again without the X bass. But again, if you like your bass, you have got it, and it can deliver a lot of bass. Just some full disclosure. iFi Audio did send this to me for review. I didn't buy this. They helped support the channel by sending it, so thank you very much for that. But they had no input onto this video, so actually they're watching it at the same time as you are watching it. So there you go. If you've got any questions, I'll answer them below. Do my best, but I do answer all the questions. And yeah, I'll leave some links if you're interested in sort of finding out some more information about this, or finding out the latest offering, perhaps on Amazon or something like that. But this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. Catch you guys soon. Bye for now.